Okay, so I promise you this first one, no one else in the entire world, anywhere on the internet will have this idea, but I think it's a good one and you might be able to capitalize on it. So what is it? Well, the first idea is a fire extinguisher inspection software, kind of like a management tool. In college, I worked as a fire extinguisher inspector. It was one of the better jobs I've ever had in my life. It was awesome. The idea was that each month we had to inspect our extinguishers and make sure they were up to code all across our college campus. So I had probably 2,000 extinguishers on my list every month that I had to go to physically in person in all these different buildings, whether it be the chemistry lab, the bio building, every building on campus basically. And I had a little scanner. And on each extinguisher, I would scan a barcode to register the extinguisher. And then if the gauge and the pressure was correct and everything looked good with the extinguisher, I'd scan another barcode that corresponded to good or healthy. The extinguisher was up to code. And you do this for 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 extinguishers every month. So the idea here, the first idea for you is to come up with some sort of micro-SaaS product that is able to map extinguishers all over college campuses and let you actually just diagnose them from within the app. So instead of having to look for these extinguishers in basements and weird laboratories, you know where all of the extinguishers are on a map on your application that you build, and you're able to actually click into specific extinguishers and code them as either up to code or needing maintenance. That's the first idea. All right, so the second idea is actually to create an Airbnb for tents or for glamping. Glamping and these tent lifestyle businesses are absolutely exploding right now in the US. The market estimated right now for glamping is $2 billion with 10% year-on-year growth for the next 10 years. It's crazy. Now, I'm not a huge camper myself, and I don't think I would ever really like glamping. It seems like cheating, but there are people out there that love this stuff. So the idea here is create an Airbnb where people can go on and list their tent, list their RV, list their tree houses, any kind of cool glamping setup. They can list it, and then other people can find those listings and book dates just like you would on Airbnb. I think that you make money by just taking a percentage off the top, skimming off the top of every reservation, just like Airbnb does, and you're well on your way to a profitable business in 2022. All right, so let's keep it moving and move on to idea number 3, which is build a pickleball tournament app or a pickleball court reservation app. What is this? What is pickleball? Well, pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the United States. If you haven't played it before, you got to get out in the courts. It's awesome. It's kind of like a mixture of ping pong, tennis, and like paddleball. It's amazing. It's super fun. Regardless, over the pandemic, this sport absolutely blew up. There's 5 million players in the US right now, and it's growing at like 40% a year the last couple of years. So it's a huge market opportunity. Now, what's the idea? Well, I think the problem that pickleball has right now, since it's growing so fast, it doesn't have kind of a center home. It doesn't have a home base. It doesn't have an app where you can go and book tournaments with people or reach out to other pickleball friends to see if anyone wants to play or find different pickleball courts. One of the big problems right now is these courts are popping up everywhere, but unless these courts are associated with like different like rec centers or public facilities, there's no way to find them. They're not on Google. So if you can build an app that kind of maps out where all the different pickleball courts are, maybe you can reserve them, and maybe you can also build in some sort of tournament functionality where you can book tournaments and have people pay dues in your app and charge a monthly fee for it. That's idea number 3. Now the fourth idea for a profitable no-code business in 2022 is to build some sort of client special occasion tracker software. Now what is this? Well, I used to work at Wells Fargo on their wealth management team. It was not a great summer. I was an intern there and it really sucked. But it was beneficial because I got to see inside how these wealth management gurus, these guys that are making bukus of money, all kind of interact with their clients. Yes, they handle the finances of these people and there's hundreds of millions of dollars at stake, but the main thing I realized was the finance knowledge was one thing, but the main thing that they're building their businesses around is client management and these client relationships. So what do I mean? I worked under a guy who had about 100 clients. And every single year on each client's birthday, he would call them and write them a handwritten note and send it to them in the mail. For each client's significant other or children who had special occasions, whether it be anniversaries, graduations, etc., he would also send handwritten notes through the mail, and sometimes he'd send gifts to them, wine bottles, cigars, things like that. A couple of stogies, why not? But what he was really lacking was a good way to track all of these special occasions and automate these processes. So he was doing all this manually. He had a spreadsheet with every single client's birthday, every single client's graduation, every single client's anniversary, etc., etc. And he would just wake up every day and just go through the list and start calling and writing handwritten notes and sending gifts. I think there's an opportunity here to build some sort of micro-SaaS in Bubble or something with your no-code tools and create some sort of special occasion tracker for clients. And I think you can automate all of this. So you could link it to some sort of email platform and send out automatic emails on birthdays, and you can personalize it and customize it and things like that. I think you could also link this to some sort of like e-gift card that you could send to them via email. So whenever it's somebody's 10th wedding anniversary, one of your clients' 10th wedding anniversaries, automatically send them a gift card to a wine company or a nice steakhouse, something like that. So you automate this process instead of having to do it all manually. Now, the fifth idea is an idea that I hope someone will make eventually because I need it for my life. And that is, I would like somebody to make a book club software. Now, when the pandemic hit, a lot of book clubs that were in person moved online. People were using Zoom to meet with their friends and talk about books. They were using social media to stay in touch with their book club. But the problem is there's no real central app or software out there where you can run and manage book clubs. So what I would like to see is an app where I can create a book club. I can invite my friends to that book club. We could all make recommendations on future books. We could comment and write our thoughts on the books we're currently reading. Maybe polling functionality where we all vote on what book we read next. Things like this. Just a nice central place where our book club can live online. Maybe you can also schedule and put your calendars in and find out a night that everyone can meet up and do an in-person book club. So I think a nice home base for book clubs would be awesome. I think you could charge maybe like a low monthly fee, maybe $9 a month, something like that, and build up your clientele that way. But a book club software, I think, has a home in this world and it currently doesn't exist. So someone make it for me, please. Thank you. All right, the sixth idea I have for you today to start making money in the no-code movement is to set up some sort of tithing software. Now, what is tithing? Tithing is basically donations that you get at different churches and things like that. So people give money every month to their church or the religious organization, whatever. So this process used to be done manually. You would come in and you would actually like write a check out or get cash out and put it in the basket, put it in the collections basket. But this software came out, this tithing software came out couple years ago where now you can just automatically donate to your religious organization. It's awesome. Now, this software does exist. There's a bunch of different solutions. Now, I included it on this list for two reasons. One, I think this would be a very simple application to build in Bubble or a different no-code solution. So it's a good way to get your feet wet and just kind of get into the no-code revolution. But two, I think there's still a lot of opportunity in this space. If you really niche down and don't hit the big churches or the big religious organizations that are kind of on the forefront of technology. If you go back to the churches that are still kind of in the past and not using the software, I think there's opportunity here. So maybe you make a tithing software and market it just to those old school churches that are still doing manual collections. All right, so the seventh idea for you to make a profitable business in the no-code revolution is to create some sort of niche e-learning platform / community. Now you're probably saying, Alex, there's courses and e-learning modules all over the internet. It's just gonna be white noise. I'm gonna get lost in the wash. And I would agree with you. But this community aspect, I think, is something we're talking about. Here's what I would do. I would build out some sort of e-learning content, pick a niche that you're very excited about. For me, maybe it'd be chess, even though I'm really, really bad at it. I'm trying to get better. But let's say chess, for example. Build out some sort of course, some sort of content that helps people learn how to play chess, for example. And then, since there's a million of those probably already out there, what I would do is build some sort of app that blends those courses with a community aspect. So maybe people who are taking your courses can chat in the chat box off to the side of their courses, or build functionality that allows people to work on different homework assignments together while they're going through your chess content. The idea here being blend your courses, which there's a million of those already out there, with some sort of community aspect and blend them together to create some sort of environment and an audience for you that you can then profit off of in the future. All right, the eighth idea for you today is to build some sort of freelance time tracker. Now, what is this? Well, we know freelance work has just exploded over the last few years, especially now that everyone's working from home, working digitally, and it's only going to just continue to go this way as the gig economy continues to ramp up over the next few years. Our economy is drastically changing. So with this huge influx of freelancers, what's the opportunity? Well, one of the biggest downsides of freelancing is your time isn't structured like it would be in a 9 to 5. You kind of work on different projects as they come at you, and For a lot of freelancers, this can be hard to manage. You can kind of get lost and distracted by all the different opportunities in front of you and lose track of your efficiency and how much time you're spending on each project you have in front of you. So I think a good idea would be to build some sort of freelance time tracker where freelancers can fire up your software that you've built with a no-code tool and track their time throughout their day in a more structured way so that they can then see, oh shoot, I'm working on this much longer than I thought I was. Oh, I'm not as efficient there as I think I could be. And if you could provide structure to these freelancers and help them become more efficient in their freelance work, I think they'd pay you for it on a monthly basis. So freelance time tracker, I think it could be useful. Now, my 9th idea for you today is to build some sort of a dashboarding or reporting analytics tool for a certain niche. Now, there's a ton of dashboarding solutions out there all over the place, things like Tableau, things like Clipfolio, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not saying you recreate those, but as a micro-SaaS strategy, maybe you just really niche down into a certain industry and build out reporting tools and become an expert in reporting on that industry's analytics or KPIs. So for example, maybe you could just build analytics and reporting and dashboarding solutions for gym studios, and you can help them track their memberships on a monthly basis. You can help them track their revenue, their costs, and you learn that business and really start becoming a partner for these gym studios. That's just an example. Maybe you could also do honey shops or candy stores. Become an expert on some super small industry and then sell your dashboarding solutions, your reporting solutions to those people on a monthly subscription service. All right, guys, so we have arrived at our final no-code business idea for 2022, and that is build some sort of invoicing software, some automatic invoicing software that you could sell to clients on a monthly subscription plan. I think this one was similar to the Tithing software in that I don't think it would be that difficult to build in a tool like Bubble or something. So I think it's a good way for you to get your feet wet. But again, I would build some sort of platform that allows you to automatically invoice clients, accept payments, send PDFs of custom invoices, and automate all this so businesses don't have to manually invoice their clients anymore. Maybe you take this general idea of invoicing and billing and automating all of that for businesses, and you just drill down into a super niche and just target those people with your invoicing software. So for example, maybe you want to target artists, creative people like that. And you say, look, here's the deal. You want to keep painting. You want to keep trying to be the next Van Gogh. You don't want to worry about all this business stuff. You don't want to be worrying about invoicing all your clients. Let us handle that for you. We will build a solution that will automate all of that for you. You focus on your art. We'll focus on collecting your money from the clients. So everybody, those are our 10 profitable no-code business ideas that I think you can have set up with a no-code tool over the next few weeks. And you could start making money by the end of this year if you wanted to. Now, some of these are definitely strange, especially the fire extinguisher one. I know that's a weird one. Let me know if you have any questions about that one in the comments. I think it would be really cool to get set up, and maybe I'll work with you guys if anyone wants to spearhead that for me. But go down to the comments, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know what you think of my ideas. If you think they're trash, if you think they're good, if you're intrigued, if you want more information, just go down there and let me know. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you like this video, please go down and smash that like button. I really appreciate it. If you're liking the content and you want to see more content like this in the future, consider subscribing. That would also be awesome. I just want to say again, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching these videos. Thanks for interacting with me down in the comments. I love this little community we've started to build. I really enjoy helping you all start to work on things that you enjoy, that you're passionate about, that bring you joy in your life. That really makes me happy. So thank you all for being here. I'll stop rambling now. I will see you all next week. Peace, guys.